Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So for those of you who don't know, I just picked up my brand new 2021 Toyota Land Cruiser Heritage Edition. It had 77 miles on it. I picked it up from Toyota of Rio Texas, so right on the Mexico border. And I'm just super happy to have this thing. Here's my wife's temporary wifey whip. How about that? GMC Acadia. It's pretty pathetic, but we do have a van selected, by the way. We're waiting for it to arrive to the dealership, so more to follow on that. But we're going to talk about my trip back home. It was exactly 1,000 miles. 1,000 miles from Toyota of Del Rio to my doorstep here, which is pretty baffling. So we have 1,077 miles on the Heritage Edition here. So I'm going to pop in here and I'm going to give you guys a look at what my average MPGs were throughout that 1,000 miles. So I did a reset, of course, right when I left, and we are now sporting. Let me pop in here, we'll fire it up. So there you go. There's the exactly 1,000 miles I put on it. Push to start. I'll shut the door there. Love that startup sequence there, and I love the analog gauges. I love being back to that, but there you have it. I averaged 12 miles to the gallon, and obviously the vast majority of my trip back here was freeway driving, which is pretty pathetic. But to be fair, much of the trip back in maybe northern Colorado and I would say central Colorado and upward to Wyoming here, it had a ton of headwind coming at me, so that definitely brought us down a little bit, because this vehicle here is essentially like driving a brick. So here's a look at the Land Cruiser. I'm not a fan of the fact that they put the shiny leather cleaner on it, so I'll go through this here when it gets a little bit nicer out and do a proper touch up on it. But love having it, love having the V8 again, love ditching the hybrids, even though is it as thrilling to drive as my Sequoia TRD Pro and Tundra TRD Pro? No. Oh, that's new. So because of the cold weather, I think we're losing a little bit of the PSI. But although it isn't as fun to drive per se compared to the Tundra and the Sequoia, the fact that it has the 5.7 liter V8 and the fact that it is a legendary Land Cruiser and the last of the Land Cruiser in the United States for a while anyway, I'm very pleased to have it again. It just feels right having this in the stable. I know I said it before, but I am going to try to keep a hold of this one. So this is my last opportunity to actually hold on to one for any length of time, or any new one, I should say, because I will never get another Heritage Edition with 77 miles on it. That doesn't cost $140,000 anyway. My next video, I will walk through the pricing, how much the dealership was asking for it, and how much I ended up paying for it. So I'll walk you through that for those of you who are interested in that, because I know a lot of you have already messaged me asking. So at any rate, 12 miles to the gallon, that isn't too abnormal for this. With that thirsty 5.7 liter V8, it does typically get 13 to 15 miles to the gallon. That's pretty common. And the fact that it was a new engine just breaking in, that affected the miles per gallon to some degree too, right? So 12 miles to the gallon. Took 3 fill-ups on the way up. So I'll leave you with that. Let me know if you have any questions. Appreciate you watching as always. Until next time.